Hi, fourth grade friends. So today we are going to be printing the backgrounds onto our prints that we made last class. So we're gonna get into probably the same groups unless someone was out. I will share what groups you're gonna be in. And on the clean side of the table, the part that doesn't have the paper, that's where you're going to have the prints that you did last class. You wanna have both of them out. On the dirty side, where you have the messy mats and the bench hooks, that is where you're going to be printing your backgrounds. Now, just like last time, you can choose to use the same color so you don't have to wash it until the end of class, or you can do a different color and then you're gonna have to wash it twice today. So I think I'm going to do orange, and I think that's gonna look nice on this black paper. It's really important that you choose a color ink that will go and stand out with the paper that you chose. So I don't know how well orange is gonna look on the green, so I might not do that in orange. So I'm going to get started by putting some ink towards the top, not in the middle. This way I can pull down just the right amount that I need. And while I'm doing this, my partner is just going to kind of assist and make sure that they're looking to see that I have enough ink as well. Then I'm not gonna roll all of it down, just gonna roll some of it. And then I wanna keep inking it up until this is evenly inked. And I hear the sticky sound. So it's not ready yet. I think I need a little bit more. Then I'm going to ink this up the same way that I inked up my other plate. Now, even though this is covered right now, it's not enough ink because it's not shiny everywhere. So you probably need more ink than you think. It doesn't mean you roll all the ink down at once. It just means it takes time and you have to go back, roll down a little bit more ink, put a little bit more on, get a little bit more ink. Now, if I just keep rolling, it's actually gonna take ink off. So I do have to go back each time and get a little bit more ink. Slide this over. Now it's starting to look shiny. Make sure that you turn your brayer like I'm doing. You don't wanna miss a certain area. And now you can see here, it has a little bit of a shine to it. Now this part might be tricky. I'm going to flip this over, and at the clean side of the table, I'm going to position it on top. Now while I'm doing this, my partner should be inking up their background so that we're each kind of doing something different at the same time and we're not wasting any time. So I only really have one chance to make this work. I'm gonna try to fit it on top the best that I can. Then I'm going to flip it over. And we always want to roll on the paper side. So I'm going to get a clean brayer. And I'm going to press down really hard, maybe 2 or 3 times. And then I can pull my print. Now we might have some spots, if you had really little parts, you might have to do those separately. Like you see, I had these parts. If I can find them, I have to do those separately. Or you might just have one whole piece. Once you're done with your print, you're going to take it over to the dry rack. And then you might have to clean this in the sink. Be careful, if it breaks, you could still print with it. You'll just have to put both pieces down separately. But you wanna wash it with a sponge in the sink and dry it really well so there's no water on it. Now I'm gonna show you one more time. I got most of the ink off. It's okay if there's still a little bit on here, but you wanna make sure that it's dry. That's the most important part. Now for this background, I'm gonna use a darker green ink. The light neon will blend in too much. Blue could have been nice on here. White could have worked as well, but I didn't wanna use something too light that would blend in a little bit too much. So I'm going to put this on the clean side that doesn't have the mat. Now when we're inking this up, remember we're just gonna roll a little bit down, and now I'm gonna speed it up and ink it up. This part, if your paper's a little folded like mine, you might need 2 people to help with this. This is called registration when you're printing with 2 colors. You want to make sure that the registration is lined up the best that you can. And it's okay if it's a little off, but just try your best. Push it down, flip it over, and then rub. Now I'm gonna pull it off, and if it doesn't come out good, you can always re-ink it, and I can help you place it down. And now I have this print. Now, if you feel like you didn't get a good print of your portrait, you can choose to do another print of your portrait instead of doing 2 backgrounds. Like you might only have 1 good print of your portrait to do your background on, so there's no point of wasting a bad print and doing the background on that. In that case, I would say just do 1 of the background and make a nice new print of your portrait. So that will be an option. Have fun.